Microphone check 1 2 1 2. What is this? Welcome to Monday Quality Talks number 18, family. Well. So good to be back. Indeed, last week we couldn't do the show as I was doing a performance. For those of you who were there, you witnessed it. It was really, really nice, and I was also taking part of the as I was one of the people talking on that floor for this decade for people of African descent, and especially for Women's Day, International Women's Day celebration. So, you know, it was indeed hard for me to do MQT at the same time as being part of that floor and then, you know, doing to do. Anyway, I broke the light. I need to get a new one. And I'm trying to fix the details of this imagery here, which ain't looking quite tight today, but well, we will make it work. And the most important is that we do address the topic at hand today. So, you know, I'm gonna try to do my best to give you guys a good time and, you know, exchange on the topic of the day. Can you all hear me well? Is the music not too loud? Thank you very much, Mountain of Inspiration. Appreciate your comments. Let me actually fix the shirt. Let's make sure that I look up to par indeed. Aha. Let me arrange the stylistique. Il faut toujours arranger la sape parce qu'un garçon mignon ne peut pas manquer d'élégance. All right, yo. Yeah, man. Today. You know, I'm sorry. I had a last minute meeting with my partner Jojo Flores, with whom we're doing this festival, this online weekender called Offering God's Soul Weekender, and it's taking place this coming weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, Saturday 20th and until Sunday the 21st. And it will be a festival that will host an array of amazing guests, DJs of course, and I hope that y'all will be tuned in. It's going to be streamed on my YouTube channel and on Jojo Flores' Twitch, but we also have a media partner, one of the biggest platform there is out there at the moment, Pan-African Music, who will be also hosting one of the 2 days on their YouTube channel, which we will be advertising this week, of course. It will be streaming as well on Facebook, on Twitch, etc. So it will be pretty much global, just like the reach that we expect to have with the type of guests that we've been blessed to count as part of this beautiful lineup. So, wow, when things don't go the way you want, isn't that what we all have to deal with? No matter what in life, we encounter moments where we feel like it just doesn't go the way we expected, or it just doesn't feel like it's panning out. I know it may sound like a bit of a deja vu because I did touch on this topic in so many different ways, but I feel like there's just never enough conversations on that. And, you know, I was observant of a couple of things that happened with me personally, but around me as well. And you hear all these stories of people bumping into these very important moments in their lives that leads them to have to deal with the disappointment sometimes, the frustration a lot of the time as well, and the sort of that discouragement that come along with, you know, all these emotions that you encounter when things don't work out the way you expected them to be working out. You see, and please remember that you can always jump in the chat and share, informations and thoughts on the conversation. So don't be shy. Um, I'm going to talk about what I know, what I've experienced, and kind of like what is my approach to dealing with these moments of disappointments. Delia, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to Emmanuel, Eliana, Mountain of Inspiration, and everyone else connected. I appreciate your presence. And please feel free to share the link to this show. Also, let it be known that we are live. Feel free to also support the show with donations, super chats, super stickers. You can make donations via, cryptocurrencies as well. And of course, purchase the merch. You already know the steez. So, you see, I'm going to take a very interesting example. A couple of weeks ago, I started the thing as we were being reconfined in Portugal. I started the conversation. Hey, what do you do, Mike Phoenix? I started this thing called Confinement Talks as part of the Monday Quality Talks series, and kind of like an extra. And the idea for this show was to bring in people from different backgrounds, but from areas and experiences that really resonated with the type of things that I'm interested in general. Estelle, what do you do? Welcome. And so it started beautifully. I believe I did 3 confinement talks. And oh my God, what a beautiful, beautiful energy that was. 3 or 2. I'm kind of confused now. Anyway, it really felt like, it felt, and it still is. I mean, it's still gonna go through. I'm most certainly going to be changing the name to the show to fit, the actuality. Obviously, it's not going to be Confinement Talks anymore, but I really had big ideas, and I wanted to push this to a space where I would host more influential people from different areas of expertise. So, we had, some amazing, remarkable names. It's some of these talks, including the first one, created a lot of controversy with some of my guests. One of my guests in particular, which was interesting to see that this little thing that I started, which started in a humble way, like it's just me gathering guys that I like, that I may not know necessarily, but most of them I do know. But just gathering just guys that will come together with me, and we would just talk about given topics, but nothing futile. You know what I mean? Always trying to touch on things that really can elevate the viewer and just bring in perspective on the topics we would be talking on. And so I wanted to do the following one, and after the third one, I wanted to do the 4th episode, and the guests that I wanted to gather and to bring on board. Some of them were like, nah, I don't really feel comfortable to really be out there. I'm a guy of the I like to be behind the behind the curtains, and I don't want to be out there. So I was like, I understand, it's cool. And I just kind of like stopped doing it. And at the same time, I was like, dang it, man, here I started something, and then it's not really going as I planned. What a shitty frustration. But anyway, you know what? I've dealt all my life with so many times and so many moments of frustration that I've learned to build a muscle that's like, you know what? Let me pick myself back up and move on. It's okay. And so, you see, I could easily choose to feel like I'm a fraud, like I am starting things that I don't finish, that I am incapable, all sorts of like downgrading kind of words and consideration about myself and my ability to do anything. And a lot of people have unfortunately the tendency to do that to themselves, but then blame others for either letting them do that to themselves, or just for the sake of blaming others instead of taking, responsibility for how they portray themselves. I think that this is something that really comes, as far as I'm concerned, from my childhood, I would say, because back in Central African Republic, in Bria, for example, as a kid, you could clearly say that I was a rich, the son of rich people. My parents were very, very comfortable financially, and my friends, most of them were not necessarily. So, as any kid coming from that kind of background, you would expect that kid to be rather spoiled, to be, a bit of yeah, a little moron. Let's just put it this way. Which I think to a certain extent I was, but because my father being such a strict man, there was no real room for nonsense and stupidities, should I say. Therefore, it it quickly got to me that um, I was not going to be enabled the capacity to make excuses for any of my shortcomings. And my boys at the time were very good at making me face them, and in such a way that it would actually be a thing to bully one another. Well, bully, make fun, which nowadays would be considered bullying, and the kids, and it's like you overprotecting, which to a certain extent is good, overprotecting your kid. I mean, protecting your kids, but overprotecting them doesn't help them. And I remember, we would be going out during the day. Those were different times, of course, fishing and wandering about. And when you were, out and about like that with your homies, you would always encounter a couple of like, you know, thugs, little wannabe thugs, and there would be some little fights going on. And had you started the fight, whatnot, you would have to indeed, obviously, be accountable for it, and you were not given space or opportunity to feel shitty about yourself, because you just had to look after your crew and your guys and this and that. So there was a sense of camaraderie, of brotherhood, that made it such that there was a sense of support and accountability. That doesn't mean that there was no bullying, that there was no exaggeration in of such kind, but I would have to say that the camaraderie and all of these things really helped, sort of like get me off my horse if I wanted to be that kind of kid, or if I had dared, very quickly get me off of these horses and made me realize that I was no better than anyone. And that was fantastic. That was a great thing that helped me also understand that I was no less than anyone. And so you'll see the funny part is that when things don't go out, don't go the way you want in the first place, there's a tendency to feel sorry for yourself, and to blame others or blame a given situation for what it is that you're going through. And so basically this thing is acting up because I don't think Keisha is here, so I don't know why it's giving me this information. Anyway, yeah, it's been acting up like that last Friday. I have to check what's going on with Streamlabs. What was I saying? I just lost the course of things. These kind of things tend to throw me off, especially when I'm focused. Yeah. So, you have a tendency to, feel sorry for yourself, etc. The moment I was told, for example, by my friends that I was capable of doing something I believe I've touched on that before. Basketball. I wanted to be a professional basketball player, and I was told by my uncle, or I was bullied, or even made to believe that I was not good enough. And so basically that kind of created a situation where, you know, there was a massive sense of challenge that came upon me. Like I was like, oh shit, you know, I have no choice now but to really, 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 really be as sharp as I can possibly be and stop messing about, right? So my friends and my entourage, or my people at the time, my guys, my homies, really helped me, you know, kind of like overcome, you know, this sense of failure. By the way, sorry for all these little things that are coming up. I don't know why Streamlab is acting up these days. Let me actually just remove it from the screen, because it's, yeah, it's better like that. So all of us, we went through these moments, we went through these phases where, oh shit, you know, we have people around us who don't believe in us, and then you have others who do. And this is exactly where my point is, right? I want to emphasize on the fact that, you see, when you are a kid, and when you want to be accepted, you tend to do certain things a certain way. You know what I mean? You're trying to really, you know, you try to be accepted. You try to be part of the crew. You want to fit in. But I was told at an early age that that fitting in was not necessarily important, because there's a thing that says that if you're unique, you know, you can't try to fit in just for the sake of fitting in, you know, and try to be accepted for the sake of being accepted. But again, when you evolve in an environment where, you know, it's not just you for you, it's you for the others, there's a sense of there's a true sense of accountability that makes it such that, you know, you don't cry when things don't go the way you want, right? You just pick yourself back up, you collect whatever you can collect that fell apart, and you keep moving. I could use the excuse that, oh, you know, I was a chubby kid because, you know, my uncle was a big bully. My uncle bullied me a lot and made me believe that I would never be fit, that I would never be this, that I would never be that. To a certain extent, it probably has played a role in throwing off my confidence. But at the same time, I have learned to build confidence from that, and understanding that, wow, if somebody bullies you so much about one specific thing, does it mean that you are indeed a failure, or you are just being given the opportunity to prove them wrong, or prove yourself capable instead, you know, rather prove yourself capable of actually doing exactly what they say that you can? And are you doing it for them, or are you doing it for yourself? So comes into play the idea of really understanding the value of placing you as the center of the whole picture, and understanding that, well, in order for me to move beyond the sensation of failure, the sensation of things not working out the way I want and feeling frustrated over them, I'm not saying that I don't feel frustration when it happens, but how about I go forward? How about I just keep moving? How about I start feeling like, oh, this is not going the way I want, and I'm not going to be achieving anything in life? No. Why? You got to keep things moving. So if Confinement Talks, when I started it, only stopped at a third episode, that's fine. I'll do some others, and I'll keep them. I'll maintain the same thing, and I'll find a way around this whole project to make it work. Because you see, there is no such thing as failures. I believe that there's no such thing as nothing going to. As a matter of fact, most of the time when things don't go the way you want, it is because it wasn't meant to be happening the way you wanted them to happen, or when you wanted them to happen. It's not so much what you want to see happening. It is much more when it is meant to be happening, which is a completely different perspective and outlook on the concept, right? Because if you understand that, hey, you know what, this is what I want with all my heart. I've been working for this for the past couple of years or the past couple of months or whatever or whatnot, and shit is not coming to life. It's not coming to fruition. Well, just give it time. You know, about a week and a half ago, I discovered a new passion for plants. I've always loved plants, but I had a very interesting thing where I had just weird connection with plants. I would love to see them, but I forgot that as a kid, you know, I was much more in touch with nature than I was when I became an adult, especially living in Europe, right? And I started planting flowers in my garden and cactuses, and you know, I was like, wow, the feeling of seeing nature, you know, do something out of what you may think is nothing is something so remarkable. And it really is that for me. It's like, just because something doesn't go as planned right now does not mean that it's not going to come to fruition. It just means that it has to come in its own time, and that it's when things are aligned and when you are ready. So my take on this is the following. When things don't go the way you wanted them to go, the way you have projected them to be, instead of looking inwards and feeling shitty about yourself, look inwards and say, where did I not maybe prepare my strategy well enough? Where did I fail to see certain, you know, ambushes around along the way? Or where did I just fail preparation? You know what I mean? Same goes for a workout. You know, I'm a big guy. I'm 6 foot. I am, you know, 100. Well, I gained 3 kilos past 2 weeks, but so I'm officially 141 kgs, which is horrible freaking ball. But anyway, I'm not tripping about it because I know exactly what needs to be done. But I came from, you know, after losing 17 kgs after COVID, I maintained that balance. I had only since I caught COVID last year in July until like a month and a half ago, I had only gained 5 kilos, right? And then, you know, added an additional 3.5, something 3.5, 4, which is it's like not going the way I wanted. You know why? Well, you know, if you're enjoying food and if you enjoy nice dinners and you know, you're able to spend quality time with family on the weekends eventually, like I did, well, this is to be expected. But it's not so much that things are not going the way I want. It's just that this is a result of me doing what I wanted, messing up what I have started. But does it mean nonetheless that you cannot, you know, do the necessary work to just balance that out? Of course you can, and you must. You see, the thing is that we have a tendency to fall back into old habits. We have a tendency to repeat certain mistakes because that's just what we are. We are animals of habits. We are, you know, I wouldn't say animals, sorry. We are beings of habits. And so instead of feeling like, oh my God, I'm powerless and let me just, stuff myself even more with nice food or whatever the case may be. No, okay, cool. That was nice. The weekend was cool. Let me get back into my routine. Let me get back into my intense workout and let me just, get to the plan. And the idea, of course, is to be steady. But being steady and staying focused doesn't mean that you're not going to be at some point and in some way, shape, or form, skipping a little bit at some point. You know what I mean? And that's okay. And you've got to have a healthy amount of timeouts, I would say, right? So, look, my whole point today is really to remind not only myself but to you guys, if you've probably forgotten about it, that when things don't go the way you want, you have got to identify why. But the number one thing is to not necessarily be frustrated and feel frustrated over that, even though you may have had great expectations and great anticipation, building as a build-up to what you wanted to see happening. But instead, be in a state of intense and absolute gratitude and be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm not yet, maybe this is not aligned for me yet. Maybe I'm not ready for this yet. Instead of saying like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. No, it's not. It is just not aligned right now. And it's okay because you're about to get much more than what you had expected, or just enough of what you had expected, or just a little bit of what you had expected. And even that is okay, because even though it's not how you wanted it to be presented to you by the universe, by God, whoever you believe in, it is still a confirmation that you're on the right path. So you just got to stay focused and you got to stay in tune with your belief, your faith in yourself, in life, in anything that you want to have faith in, that keeps you grounded and that keeps you focused. And that's where in so many ways people lack to truly manifest their full potential is having faith in them. Because a lot of people root their faith, root their beliefs, root their hopes and aspirations in embedded lies, embedded, bigotry. Not saying that your aspirations are bad, but it's just that, look, let's be realistic. Again, that it depends what you want to do. Me, again, and I'm going to take, I think it's a very basic example, but it's a good example. Talking about workout and losing weight, I'm overweight, I am. I should be at least 20 kilos lighter than what I am. The thing is that for the type of things that I am into, for example, I'm a heavyweight Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, so or fighter, should you want to say, or artist as much, because Mike is a martial artist, a sport, but it's a martial art. So that is, the right kind of weight for my weight category. But I could, and probably I will. But it's just that instead of setting up these crazy goals that I'm going to be like super, super strict, which I know is not going to work with me. I'm strict for a lot of things, but the point is you've got to know what you're capable to fulfill as far as what you expect of yourself. If you're not somebody that can wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and get your day started, and you're used to waking up at 4 or 5 p.m., well, it's going to take you a little bit of time before you manage to get into that routine of waking up super early and changing completely your habits. You have got to change your habits. You have got to change your routine. You have got to change the type of energy you're in order for you to really start triggering the right sequence that will lead you to your goal. I don't know if you understand me. You have got to realign yourself. You have got to recenter, focus. Where do I want to go? Okay. Do I know how I'm going to get there? Of course I don't. Especially if for example, you are in the creative world and you're just trying to uh, make things happen in a way that allows you to see through the realizations of your aspirations, well, go at it one step at a time. That's why they say learn how to crawl, and from that you will learn how to walk, and from walking you will know how to run, or jog, whatever, however you want to call it, and then you can do the whole sprint or marathon or whatever you want to do. But the thing, you have got to prepare your body, you've got to prepare your mind. And what I mean by having expressions that are embedded in bigotry, lies to yourself, etc., and and actually telling others what you're doing or what you're about to do, but actually not really being about it. That is exactly the result of you feeling like a failure, or it could be much deeper than that. But we're not going to go into the psychology of it. But it's more likely, in my opinion, or at least how I would perceive it to be, embedded in this idea that you're not worthy. In the end, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm not this enough. Believe me, I know the feeling. I've been there. I've had it a couple of times, and it's a shitty feeling. But it's just a voice in your head that you've got to know to kill, progressively, and make space for that other voice that tells you it's okay, continue. Joël, amen. Merci beaucoup. What do you do? Yes, indeed, to all the Bodhists, the MQTists. So yeah, man. I think that the worst type of teacher, and it depends for what, right? But I think that there are people that really are amazing at teaching with such a psychology and with such a sense of how do you call this? Trying to tune into. Sorry, tune in a little bit the image here. Yeah, I'll see. I'm trying to make things work live and direct, tuning things up. What can we do? Anyway, is the type of teacher that knows how to be strict, but still loving, and still able to make space for you to not feel like because you've made a mistake, you're not good enough. And just because somebody might be a little hard on you and might demand of you a little bit more than they would for another, because you see, there's also a natural selection. You'll see that some people are built to do certain things better than others, right? Like there's one of my friend, a good buddy actually. We're not friends like that, but there's a great amount of respect for one another. And he's I wouldn't call this guy a bodybuilder because he's not a bodybuilder, but he built his body. His body is literally a machine. Like the type of workout he does is very unique. He actually built a whole technique and technology around. When I say technology, like the way he works out, it's something else. Like I wish I could show his page here, but it's let me see. It's something else. Like basically that kind of guy, I literally admire his dedication and his commitment to his craft and to his art. I mean, I truly believe that this guy is amazing. I think I can show that to you guys, but hopefully it's not gonna. Yeah, it's asking me this two-factor thingy. Basically, this guy, man, I need to show what he's doing. I need to show you guys what he's doing because it's just crazy. I don't know if there's a site. Ah, yes, Native Wellness. Perfect, actually. And every time I see him posting stuff, I'm like, bro, you're a machine. You're a machine, brother. You're a beast. Actually, a very good friend as well of Cazal Guerrero, Obvious Maximus. Well, Obvious, I'm sorry. To my brothers, Cazal and Ovi, what it do? Let me show you guys this thing here. Y'all gonna see for yourself, and it's mad. Yeah. Let me see this thing. Let me see. I don't know if you can see that. All right. How can I actually do this thing here? Damn it. You see, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be like Keisha here. It doesn't freaking work. Anyway, this guy's website is actually, I advise you to go check it out. It's called Native Wellness, right? And Tash Collins is just a beast, man. Just go check him out. He lives in Arizona, and he's an amazing photographer, by the way. And let me just take this off because it doesn't work. But yeah, and basically seeing him doing what he's doing with his body amazes me. Now, does it mean that I can't do it? Of course I can if I really put my energy and time to it. It's just that I don't have that focus. I don't have that aspiration. I don't have that desire necessarily, and nor do I think I have the mental time for it. But instead of feeling like, oh well, I'm not. No, well, you know what? How can I adapt some of his workout to my own routine? How can I make it work? And how can I make it, make it work for me? Pretty much. So I look at some of his routines, and I'm like, oh, I like that. Okay, let me adapt this to my way of working out, and that's it. The thing is that you have got to figure out how your technology works. You are an amazing skilled human that is capable of so many things. You have just got to figure out what works and doesn't work for you. Mountain of Inspiration. The devil is a liar. You're such a beautiful success story. Everything that anyone may have said to or about you was a lie that needs to be purged from the system. Massive respect. Oh, to you too, King. To you too. Thank you very much. And I believe we all are, because and I love what you're saying, and I think there's and I would go as far as saying that you are a success story when you're capable of overcoming your fears, when you're capable of overcoming your limitations, when you're capable of understanding that you are limitless. You just are setting limits for yourself, which most of the time lead you to feel disappointed or less when you should not. Simply because when you are indeed, in essence, capable of doing anything that you put your mind to and work for and towards, the only thing that stands between you and the end goal is your commitment to being boundless, to being limitless. Now, there are some very amazing technologies that you can actually adopt. By technology, I mean, I would say sets of rituals, habits that can lead you to seeing through what it is that you want to see happening. So, for example, one guy that is amazing at doing that is this gentleman here, who, for me, I mean, look, just go check him out. It's just worth your time. It's worth your energy. Is just an amazing man whom I am checking out literally every day almost. It's like the man, the guy's a genius. Like, check it out. Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? And his whole thing is about that. It's about, like, figuring out what is inside you, that you always fall back, that always leads you to fall back to the negative habits that you've built for yourself, and that became beliefs, and that became actual part of your system, but it shouldn't be, right? So this really feels like ultimately the type of solutions you want to go for. I urge you to go and check him out on YouTube, Dr. Joe Dispenza. There's a couple of other guys, of course, but this is whom I would actually advise you to go check out, to really look into the technology that you can, adapt and add to your routine and to your everyday life. I mean, I'm checking out his videos on YouTube. He's got like 2 hour long videos, 1 hour long interviews with other guys, talking about like the beautiful technology that is you, the beautiful human that is you. And I think that this is what we all need. Look, the power of the mind is something so amazing. I'll share with you something, and I'm so why Joe Dispenza resonates so much with me is because I very quickly realized the power of my mind when I was a kid, and up until I became an adult, where I realized that, talking about weight, and I love that topic because it's such an important topic, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I'm feeling very comfortable, but I do know what I need to work on, where I need to enhance what needs to be enhanced. That doesn't mean that I'm not comfortable in my skin. It's just that I'm aware of the things that I need to tweak and adjust. But I'm doing it at my own pace, at my own time, in my own ways. I don't feel shitty at myself. I don't nah. As long I'm treating myself with the utmost care, love, and respect, which is the number one source of energy that you need to take draw strength from. You see, when you realize that you are what you think. At a young age, I read this book by this gentleman by the name of Dr. I believe Edgar Murphy, which was called The Infinite Power of the Subconscious Mind. I was 17 years old. That book changed my life. Changed my life. There was 2 books. That one and a book by Shogyan Trungpa Rinpoche, The Crazy Wisdom. Let me show. I don't know if you can find it maybe here. There's also a couple of videos of Shogyan Trungpa Rinpoche and Krishnamurti on YouTube. Amazing conversations, like those guys, thinkers, next level. Basically, to my point, I became aware that if I was able to create my reality, then I said, well, how about I think very, very strongly about losing weight, and that I would tell my body to remove the toxins and to remove whatever it doesn't need. Obviously, I would help my body, my system, my whole being by obviously adapting the way I would consume what I would consume. But I would actually ask my whole being to tell me what is good, what is not good for me, and also set in motion a series of automatism within me that will allow me to have a healthy physique. I remember when I came to Belgium for the first time, it was in 2000, from Central African Republic, to live and study. I was going to study at Lycée Français of Brussels. There was this girl that I was in love with. She was the everybody. I mean, everybody wanted to date this girl. And and I looked at myself, and I was just turning 18, and so I said, okay. The first year I came, so I was really, really in love with her, man, and I was old school, so I was kind of like, oh, would you like to, uh, I come from the school, the era where you would ask a girl if she would want to go out and if you guys could date, and if she said no, then you'd be ashamed because they would make fun of you or whatever. But anyway, so first year, trying to. Trying to make things happen, but still being friends, but clearly making it known that I like you a little bit more than just being a friend. Anyway, um, that year ends. I go back to Central African Republic for vacation, and I come back, man, and I don't know what happened to me. I just lost. I mean, I do know. I just wanted to change completely, become just a fully different version of me and an upgraded version of me, in other words. And man, man, you're not ready. I had lost. I think that's the skinniest. Well, aside from when I was really, really from when I was a child, but um, it was interesting because I I wouldn't know. I don't even remember what was my weight, but I was really skinny. I mean, I was really skinny. So I realized that okay, my body created that because I wanted to. Obviously, I wanted her to look at me differently. Not that she didn't feel like I was. Not like I felt like she didn't like me, but I wanted her to like me more, and I wanted her to see that I was capable of of doing that effort. Right. First day at school, yo, she looked at me and all the girls, and that was already kind of remarkable. I won't lie. I had my big fro. Everybody was like, "Oh, damn, yo, yo, you back? What up? What up? What up?" I was kind of like the cool kid. But I was very cool, but I was very much to myself, and I was cool with everybody. I never wanted to be part of any clans, of any crew, or anything like that. And so she looks at me, and I could see in her eyes something had changed, and she was impressed. I was like, okay, cool. I like that. Anyway, long story short, it ended up breaking up my heart. We ended up breaking up after a couple of months. We ended up, we did go out together. We dated for about maybe I don't know 5 6 months, not even. And then she broke up with me, and I was shattered. And in the meantime, I was not really doing too good because I had studied all my life. I was being homeschooled pretty much all my upbringing. So even though I was very mature, extremely mature for my age, and very much in advance for a lot of things, I was just not skilled enough um, for the school system, the way it was built. Right, it wasn't necessarily built for me. And so for somebody like me, and with my kind of like you know experience, so it led me to fail. My baccalaureate, as we say in French, was an average of six. We say yeah. In French, we call it six de moyenne. So it was ridiculous. I mean, that's the type of thing that everybody laughs at you. And that was one of the times when my father, who also didn't have his baccalaureate, looked at me and said, "Son, all right." Because after that, I really became very depressed. It was really, really, really bad. I felt really less than what I really felt less than what I was, and that I had failed my parents, etc. And so, yeah. And my father was like, "Look, I never had my baccalaureate, so look at what I managed to do in my life. Successful man, you can do it, okay? But this means that now You're entering a completely different world. Daddy, mommy, and stuff. Yeah, I've always made sure that you were responsible, but now even more so. And yeah, and I realized with the years, I was like, oh God, I wish the type of schooling that exists nowadays for kids that are not necessarily meant for like the typical, system existed at my time. Because I realized through the years, like for example, I loved economy, but I didn't find within the system and how it was taught, I didn't understand it. But something in me understood it, but I just didn't understand it intellectually. And look, as a grown man, I'm starting to learn and educate myself on all these things for the past, for the past, I would say, for the past 5 to 6 years, I have to say, but even more so for the past year and a half. Yes, I definitely dived into it, into my own education, and I think that, we are told so often and so quickly and so easily by others that we are failures, we are this, we are that when we are kids, or not just kids, but adolescent, whatever the case may be, or even as grown adults, your boss, anyone, you're not good at this. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I'm good at or not? I might not be excellent at one specific thing, but it's very interesting how people use that as a way to then depict that as being part of your character and reduce you to that limitation. And I do put limitation between brackets because either that person has not understood how to get you to understand that message in the right way with the right pedagogical approach, or it is just not meant for you and you're forcing things because you either it's not meant for you at all or you're just not ready for it right now. You see, this very important distinction. And this idea of limiting people to one specific situation or limitation, again, is what leads the society that we have to be what it is. Everybody have an open mic now. You can literally shout your filth, all your knowledge, all your positive energy out there without having any understanding that when you have a microphone, right, in your hands and there's speakers out there blowing out your voice, because everybody has a voice now. You have a responsibility that you need to be held accountable for, but nobody is accountable for anything. Oh, Mike Phoenix, thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, big things are going. Appreciate the love, yo. Truly appreciate the support. Moto Music, thank you very much for tuning in. Master Electronic, thank you very much to all the Shadow Gang and Bodhi's. I appreciate your presence here for this Monday Quality Talks number 18. You see? And so, before I jump into continue into that, I want to show you guys this link. Very important. Get this book if you haven't read it yet. It changed my life. It literally changed my life as a kid. Refresh. C'est fait. All right, check this out. The Crazy Wisdom. This one here, yo, this is the guy. Shogyan Trungpa Rinpoche. Get the book. Get the book. ASAP. Take your time. Write down the title. I'm about to take it off in a minute. You must have it. This is part of your collection. There's a couple of that he wrote that are just absolutely remarkable. That book, I read it, I was 15 years old. Changed my existence. Changed my existence. Oh, Papa K, Tatiana. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, man. This book changed my whole existence. Man, you're not even ready. The vocabulary, the construction of phrases, etc. is so refined, so profound. Yeah, it's crazy. So limitations are usually induced in us as a ricochet effect of what we want others to believe, see of us, or observe of us when we are trying to be pleasant to them. And a lot of the time we get lost. We get lost in these considerations. We get lost in these approaches of, well, in these intentions of us to of ours, sorry, to try to fit in. Because you see, I am not interested to fit into anything. I'm very happy in being who I am, and I've worked on being that now as a result of interacting and being surrounded by people that help me enforce and reinforce my trust in self. Capella, c'est comment, frangin? Merci beaucoup. Ça fait plaisir de te voir. So you see, I know it's not easy to own who you are. It is not easy to see yourself in the mirror and see the shit that no one else sees about you. See the things that, the cracks that only you know very well how to hide. But you see, it is necessary to stay honest with yourself at all times. You know why? Because bullshit does backfire. There comes a time where you're met by your own reality. You feel me? There's a song by Guru from Jazz Mataz, Moment of Truth. Check it out. Every woman and man have their moments of truth. There's not a moment, there's moments of truth in life. And it is what you do with these moments that will lead you to go beyond the feelings of frustration created by the fact that things didn't go the way you wanted them to go in the first place. It's your capacity to see beyond the situation. All of us right now, we are going through some serious challenging times. All of us. I don't care if you're a millionaire, a billionaire, or a broke ass, or whatever the case may be. We are all in the same boat. We may not have all the same resources as we are dealing with these very, very tormented waters. But we are all in them. Some have perished, but still are alive, but they mentally lost it. They refused to take on the fight and take on the resilience that was necessary through these times and gave up. Some are no longer with us, whether because some took their own lives or just, life happened. And, oh man, I'm about to share something even deeper with you, which is, now it's not the time to share it yet, but actually, it's never going to be the time at all, because fuck it. I believe I've mentioned before that I was very, after my father's passing, I became even more aware of my potential mortality. And when I caught the COVID because of Keisha, well, we caught it together. We don't know who contaminated who, but we did get contaminated. And almost respectively and collectively were met by our potential mortality, which thank God didn't happen. something switched. And since then, I have to say that I just stopped complaining about anything. You know, I was like, not that I was complaining for things in general, but I realized even more so my blessings and I really counted those blessings in such a way that I'm always, always, always giving thanks, even more than I was already. Every morning I give thanks. I meditate. I work out. It's not a crazy workout of 1 hour. No. 10, 25 minutes because my schedule is so tight. I only sleep, well, these past couple of months, I've only been sleeping 4.5 hours per night. I'm tired, but it's funny because it's like my spirit is just busy and you know, sometimes I'm like, what is it though? Because you see, that's another thing as well. So that's where there's also, I would have to call it this toxic positivity, right? Where it's like positivity at all costs, which oh man, this thing's starting to act up again. Swear to God. Streamlabs, Papa K, we have to look into this thing, man. I don't understand it. Oh, anyway, let me turn it off for now. And you see, toxic positivity, what I mean by that is that, you know, be positive at all costs. No, sometimes you're not capable of being positive because, yeah, well, circumstances are making you feel not positive. And it's okay as well to go through this phase where, you know what, yeah, I want to give up and I'm tired. It's okay. But sometimes I feel like, you know, when like me, you have trained your brain to be always operating on a frequency that is, I gotta make it happen no matter what, you know, because you know what, this is what I have. I don't have it, you know, like that's my day job. That's my day, my night, my afternoon, my everyday job. We don't have no vacations when we do what we do. Like as artists, as creatives, as entrepreneurs, like we are, and I say we, Keisha, some of you guys and girls out there, ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings, you know, let me not trivialize the, you know, the patronym, right? And actually just really, you know, call it what it is. You got to make shit happen. And yo, you know, this muscle is so trained now that it's like, okay, well, you know what? Even when we sleep, I feel like I don't sleep. Like I sleep, I'll fall asleep like that. But then I'll sleep 2 hours and I feel like I slept 6 hours. But I'm still tired. So at a certain point, I was like, okay, no, I need to calm the mind because that is also not good at all. You know, it's not good to not let your body and your mind rest. Because as much as you want to be a go-getter, the moment you know, you're 6 feet, you know, in the ground, you're not going to be go-getting no nothing. So it is important to, merci Papa KCC. Yeah, definitely. Good to know that they're looking into it. So it is important that to take a moment and also acknowledge that positivity at all costs is necessary, but is also humanly very difficult to achieve in most cases because it's just not easy. Even the most positive, the most meditative, the most this, the most that have their moments where they're just like, oh, fuck this. You feel me? So I think it is utterly important to really maintain a sense of like, a sense of patience and acceptance that it is okay. In other words, and to kind of conclude this conversation, Shade, thank you very much. Thank you. The idea is to say, look, things don't necessarily go the way I want now, but they will. Be, but before they do, I need to prepare myself better. I need to rearrange things better. I need to organize myself better. When, as I said, I started with the example of my confinement talk series, where I only did 3, which interestingly enough, it's kind of like you could literally put these 3 talks, and a lot of you may not necessarily realize, but the guys that I had on that floor, on those floors and virtual floors, of course, some remarkable human beings who have done a lot of great things in their lives, no matter what one may or one or few may say. Because as I said, the second confinement talks that I had was very controversial for various reasons, which at first I was very much unaware. But then I was like, you know what? Look, I am one that believes that firmly and thoroughly in my friendships, right? Unless you've killed somebody, and again, I'm not condoning anything of the kind, but or you rape somebody, etc. Well, these are the type of things that are absolute no go for me. But I really believe that because of the society we have here, and because people have now access to these very loud microphones, and even if they're not loud, they can gather all together and put all their microphones together and start shouting and bullying people around and trying to cancel everyone that they don't see fitting what they want to see those doing or abide to. That's not going to work with me. I believe I'm very loyal to my principles, and I am indeed ruled by a set of principles and kind of like a code of honor, which was thankfully given to me as part of my education when I was a young boy by both my parents, my mother and my father. I do come from a very much matriarchal family. There's more women in my family than there is men. So already that feminine sensitivity, I have it, and I have no problem being in touch in both sides of my being, because there is no such thing as a male polarity without a female polarity. You need both in order for you to function. You know what I mean? And those who lack one or the other may not realize it now, but will realize in time that it is quite the handicap when you are trying to elevate, right? And I think that the lack thereof of one or the other creates this sense of intolerance, creates this sense of methodical analysis of a given situation, leading one to then come to quick conclusions about themselves or others, and latch on others for what they wish themselves had done, but then blame others for not doing, or whatever the case may be. There's just a constant sense of like throwing the ball at the other, whether it be motivated by noble reasons or not. Look at your own biases, look at your own shortcomings, acknowledge what needs to be acknowledged, but understand that unless there's no dirt in front of your door, it is better to watch the way you're pointing your finger to. It's very important, because one day somebody will point that finger back at you and you will not like it, and it might destroy you. And the only way you can be destroyed is if you've not acknowledged that you yourself, well, the only way to not be destroyed is to acknowledge first and foremost that, let me start by saying that this and this and that, I also have my own shortcomings. When you are aware of your shortcomings, when you are aware of your capacity to always grow and always be better, and you desire to do better, whether you do things in ways that may not necessarily always be nice or not always be good, but if your heart is motivated and is filled with this desire to do better, this frustration provoked by things not going the way you want them to be in the first place will disappear, simply because you have really rooted yourself deeply in your truth. And your truth is not rooted in the lies you tell about yourself in order to believe that they are truth. Let me explain myself. Because I see some people say, well, what if I want to believe that I'm skinny and I'm fat and then this? And no. Okay, if you're big, like me, I'm a big dude. I have muscles and all that, but at the end of the day, I am a big dude. There's fat in my body as well. So me not acknowledging that is rooting a truth, which is, yes, there's muscles, I have a lot of strength and all that, but don't mix it up. There is fat also in my body. Therefore, if I look at myself in the mirror and all I see is six packs when actually there's a one pack and a belly, yeah, I might be tough and all that, but it's a one packer. So, my brother, it's okay to own it now, but it's also important to acknowledge that, well, I appreciate who I am. I don't see myself worse than I am, because I am not. But I do see where the betterment can be and where I can enhance things here and there. It's funny because I made this talk about, weight loss as if it's the only thing, but I think it's one of the most thought-provoking and remarkable topic that most people will tend to be able to understand and grasp as far as concept when we're talking about these, deeper meanings of what I'm trying to touch on, which is this sense of love of self, love of others, but love of self first and foremost, so that we can achieve the very difficult, very difficult goal of being a super version of yourself. Shade Womack, where are my parents from? Well, my mother is Belgian American, and my father was Central African French. So I'm quarter black, even though you cannot see it. I do look rather pale and rather anything but a brother. But hey, what can we do? Less melanated, but nonetheless, indeed. Born and raised and bred in Central African Republic. Born in Bangui and raised in Bria, the eastern part of Central African Republic. So, Pam, look, man, when things don't go the way you want, instead of feeling shitty, instead of feeling like life isn't fair, even though you have the right to feel that life isn't fair, give thanks and understand that life is not unfair. Life is what you make it. And though it can happen to you as well at times, because you don't have no control upon it, it is important to realize that you're not victim of what happens to you. You are a victim of what you do, what you choose to do when things happen to you. So you're either a victim, or you're either an actor, or you're taking control. It's whichever you choose to be. And it's okay. Just don't act like you're something that you're not, because a fraud is indeed something that can be perceived and unveiled very quickly. Kesha, you're such a liar. Well, actually, there's no shame in being Norwegian anyway. They are from the north. They are Vikings, so it's fine. As a matter of fact, my mother, on my mother's side, the father of my mother was Irish. So what can we do? On both sides of the ponds, I have strong bloods. I have the Bantu blood and the Irish blood. Hey, Lord have mercy. It's bad boy. But we're so mixed anyway. Oh my God. Sade, no, DRC is underneath Central African Republic. So the country is called Central African Republic. Then you have DRC, you have Congo, you have Cameroon, Chad, Sudan. And I believe that's that. Unless I'm missing one country. Yeah, so that's it. Kiara, what do you do, sis? Appreciate you being here. You know it, sis. You know it. But yeah, no. With that being said, no. But honestly, the truth is this, huh? I have decided after this weekend, I was like, nah, man. Yo, because my mother and her partner has, well, he loves to cook. He's an amazing chef. I mean, he's got a kitchen. His kitchen is something else. He's got the full utensils, and he's like a semi-professional kitchen. And he cooks, man. Hey, this Oga cooks in ways that I'm like, no, yo. And love his French cuisine because he's French. So he does cook some amazing desserts, amazing meals, and every weekend I'm there spending quality time with them. And I have to say that it's not been good for my diet. I was really good, but I have to get my ass back to, which I have been doing since yesterday. But oh my gosh, what a what a challenge it's been. You know, when you see, and the thing is that I'm a foodie, right? So as a foodie, when you're a foodie like me, you enjoy good things. You know what I mean? You enjoy life, you know? And so I gotta lose some weight. But it's fine. I'll lose it in my own time, and I'm not making a whole fuss out of it, because there's no need for that. Yeah, man. Sister Kiara, nothing went the way I wanted it to do today. Monday has so far been a series of small unfortunate events for me. What can you do? It's almost over. I've had those actually no later than last week. Last week, the whole week was just a series of events that I just didn't like at all, and including one that was may he so rest in peace, the death, well, supposedly because of cancer, but you know, we're in Africa, and politicians in Africa don't necessarily always die of cancer. Well, that's the official thing, but anyway, that's my own interpretation of a man that, you know, I had the chance to meet once. Very, very kind, very impressive gentleman, who was at the time Prime Minister of Ivory Coast, and he was a man that helped a lot of musicians, and just loved music in general, and not only francophone music. He just supported arts. So yeah, his passing was one that hit close to home, because it was very much similar to my father's passing, and also in terms of energy, he had a lot of similarity to, in terms of charisma, he had a lot of similarity to my father. So my father having transitioned in 2014 as a result of for the similar reasons. Yeah, it was a bit of a yeah, it didn't taste too nice. But I think one of the things that I have learned to do that helps me function and then I deal with it when I have the space mentally for it. Is that I compartmentalize everything. It's like, okay, cool, that's there. Let me just put it there now for a moment, just and then this way I can continue to function to deliver what I need to do. Sometimes I'm not inspired, but I think that it's okay. Again, life happens, so it's what we choose to do when it happens to us. Either we fall victim of the result of life happening to us, or we, just like you just said, it's okay. It's just, it's today. Tomorrow is going to be a better day, and it's going to have its own challenges, but you give thanks. You get to see another day, and you got to experience this day so that you can learn. So that's at least how I would decide to look at things, but to each their own. So I'm nobody to tell what you think. Plus, you're the big sis, so who am I? But it's gonna be fine. Yeah, I just bought a few boxes of Girl Scout cookies. I went ham on the cookies this weekend. I was ashamed. You too? Oh my God. And plus, I messed up my beard, right? So last week I was trying to shave on Monday, and then I was trying to trim my beard, and then I messed it up. So I just had to take everything off. So I finally am starting to grow my beard back. So yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit more like a human. but yeah. Tatiana, we shall do both, work with our body to be as how we want and accept and love ourselves the way we are. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what it is. If you love yourself, this is the thing, right? For example, as I said, like there's some people that exaggerate with like, I love myself the way I am, which is great. But then I think that, for example, if you're super obese and it threatens your livelihood, you have got to stop saying that you're cool being the way you look, because it is actually at this point threatening, your longevity on Earth, right? So you've got to take the necessary steps in order to change that up. But yeah, man, for the most part, look, everybody try to apply singular observations and apply them on others, not saying that I'm saying that you should smoke, but some people smoke every day of their lives until they're freaking 70 or 80, and they die of their old age. Some people, they'll smoke until they're 30 and then they get a cancer. Like, how unfair is that? But it is what it is. So it's like, oh, you should look this way, you should look that, you should, well, dude, I feel you, but my blood tests are great, my heart is great, my pressure, my artery pressure is on point. Thank God I am indeed, this is the thing. So you've got to distinguish, like, is it that you eat junk food and you're not looking after yourself, and you're a very stressed person and you're very negative? And you see, it's not just the food, because this is the thing, right? You can't look at this problem, and again, we're talking about, body shape and over, like if it's the only thing. It's one of the reasons of this conversation, but actually it's not. It's an example within this conversation to really put some imagery around the conversation. But I really think that the idea is to just understand that, truly identify your own biases, your own conflicted interpretations of what it is that you're going through is of utter importance. That's exactly where you're going to be able to find your peace and kind of like, okay, I was like, could have been better. You know what I mean? But not feel like shit. And unfortunately, some people are so ingrained in them. They've been told all their lives that they are not good enough, they're not this enough, they're not that enough. So they start building this belief about themselves that lead them to become very dependent to that kind of energy, which is really, really fucking sad, because it's like, why do you always go towards that kind of toxicity? Why do you try to? Is it because it feels safe? Just like, yeah, man. Some people are not cool with, like, if they're around people who talk in a spiritual way, and with a certain type of motivation, and because this is the thing, right? I don't think that what works for me works for you. I really don't believe it does, but it could. Now, do what you will with it, and whatever you choose to do is okay. It's your choice. Am I happy with it, or would it be what I see for you? Not necessarily, or maybe yes, if you apply it. But if you don't, well, I might be a little disappointed. But then at the end of the day, I have got to let you be who you want to be. Asha is painting as well. I think you're going to start Asha's NFT gallery very soon. So yes, by the way, family, you have got to go and check out our galleries on OpenSea. For those of you who are art collectors, you may want to go and check out our I believe Keisha spoke on that already recently on one of his Shada Club Shada shows. So he spoke and actually showed you guys some of his works. Let me show you some of mine. Well, of course, we must. He actually helped me be on this platform. He spoke about it. Actually, I saw that with Gary V talking about it, and then he was like, "Yo, you heard about this?" I was like, "Yeah, I just found out about it while watching Gary V," and he was like, "All right, cool." So he helped me set it up, and so it's very, very, very useful, and it's a beautiful thing because it allows you to really tap into the full spectrum of your capacities as an artist and as a creative, especially if you know that you've got the capacity to do much more than just, for example, music. This is the spot. It's all these non-fungible tokens. It's like it's just freaking amazing. And I would not talk about it better than Keisha. So if you want to know more about that, go check out Club Shada. Keisha, which one it is? And can you type that up in the chat, or maybe even post the link. But yeah, check it out, and it's really worth listening to Keisha talking on that, because he's much more geek than I am when it comes to these things, and as opposed to me, does remember right away. Like he just has to read it once, and he's good. Whereas me, I'm like, shit, I gotta look at it a couple of times. Well, so yeah, this is my gallery. This is my first virtual gallery, as you can see, and you are welcome to go and get yourself a beautiful artwork. So the story behind these artworks here is that so these are artworks that my late brother Boris, created when he was 19, 20 years of age, a little young. Yeah, 18, between his 18th and his 19. Yeah, 19, 20 years of age. Yeah. There's many more that he did, but I need to grab them. But like, you see, so you have the younger one with the mouth, which is one of his masterpieces. My brother passed away in 1991, and he was just an amazing artist. And so this is a tribute. So the younger one, the one with the mouth, is original piece. The Tekwe #1 is original piece. And the Tekwe 2, 3, 4, and 5 are my own interpretation of his original piece. So, it's an homage to my brother, but it's also me now tapping into another set of skills that I've always been told, you see, that I was not capable of doing. And I was like, nah, fuck this. With this NFT non-fungible tokens, it allows me to have my own gallery, right? I can actually, and I will indeed very soon be having my music also there. So what it is that it's using the blockchain technology via this platform called OpenSea. And basically what happens is that it allows you to make use of this technology to have your art there, and you can actually auction it, or you can just sell it for a given price, and you can have limited series, or you can define the amount of copies you want for one piece. For example, so if you're looking at this one, the Techway one, right on the extreme right of your screen, that one, for example, there is probably 29 units of this one, and so once they're all sold, then that's it. But then it allows you to then make royalties off of that. So for example, when people buy them, they can resell them, and you'll take you take 10% commission on each transactions, which allows you to continuously, see how do you call this? See money coming in regularly. Oh, merci, Papa Keisha. I appreciate that. So if you're looking at Keisha's page, that's his latest creation here. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. Well, I guess it's not going to appear unless I refresh it. And so, yeah, basically, it's just, your own virtual art gallery. And if you're an artist, it's just freaking amazing, because you can literally, put your art there, and everybody has access to it. And it's just fucking great. So that's Keisha's beautiful, 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 beautiful gallery. I mean, if you guys didn't know that this man is a creative in the full sense of the term, then just go check it out, because it's just he's done some beautiful pieces. And so yeah, that's what we're into. That's what we're getting into, and that's where we at, really. So it's just about expanding the reach. It's just about staying inspired and tapping into our full creativity, and I think it's pretty fucking amazing what this tool offers. No, it's amazing. So that was another of these experimentations, which is echoing exactly what I said. Things didn't go as I wanted. Oh, Brujita in the building. I know, I see you. I know you want to get into the space, and you are already in that space. So congratulations for joining the whole thing. Basically, the idea is that when things didn't go the way I wanted with gigs, all of us, right? Everything stopped. You change the whole thing. You change the whole way you function. Yeah, of course, you have less money. You have, stress, this and that. And it's like, how about I go and tap into other skills that I got? And good things with having, these kind of tools is that it really allows you to go deep into your creativity. And shamelessly, because there's no shame to have. If you're creative and you're good at what you do, fuck, man, go about it, yo. You're like, this is the platform. It allows you to go and post your art out there. Like, some people post some dumb ass shit, and you should see they sell some pieces, like fucker sells caps like drone caps with like an M, like McDonald. Guy sells that shit for, I don't know, Keisha, how much was it? Like maybe $5,000 or some shit. Are you kidding me? Go figure. But then when you see us, like, you know, beautiful pieces like the ones Keisha is doing, and he's got it, and he's got his own thing. You know what I mean? Those are inspiring, amazing new ways of getting your art out there, tapping into a completely different type of audience. Yo, I'm telling you guys, like there's so many things that can be done. It really is. The future is really now. And had this whole COVID situation not hit us, not saying that I'm happy that it did, but you've got to make the best out of it. So instead of feeling sorry for myself, I went all in. And also, again, your entourage is very important. I had people, Keisha and other friends, we are a group of people. We are motivated by the same thing, which is always moving forward. Upwards, actually, not even just forward, but upwards. You want to elevate. You want to always like push your limits. You see, this guy selling these drawings of caps, $8,000 a piece. No, man, some people, I mean, this is crazy. This is changing people's lives. So it is just a matter of time before people come and discover Keisha's, you know, gallery, my gallery, and many of your galleries, and we all look at each other and we're like, hey, yo, I'm a virtual, you know, art gallery, a gallerist. Feel me? How beautiful and amazing that is. And you can actually trace, you know, ownership of it. It's transparent. It's fully transparent. There's no way you can hide anything when it comes to this thing, and it's unbreakable in terms of like the security and the ownership is encrypted. It's, well, you know, it's crypto reality. So, you know, it's as legit as it gets, at least as far as, you know, the capacity you have to prove ownership upon a creation, especially if you're the one who uploaded it and was the originator of the art, you know. So there's no such thing as like, oh, I don't want people to, you know, people are gonna steal my stuff. Like, people steal your stuff every day. They screenshot your shit on Instagram. Like, so why would you not then, you know, add value to your creations by making it available on platforms where people actually see value into it, and not just a nice picture to screenshot or to just, you know, swipe, press like, and then move to the next one. You know what I mean? This is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. So, you know, we're tapping into that as well. And, you know, this is why this show, MQT or Quarantine Grooves, is also an opportunity for me to introduce you guys to that, but to let you know that, yo, you don't necessarily just have to make donations through, you know, super chats, which are obviously always very appreciated. And once again, big shout out to Mike Phoenix for his donations, and to all those of you who've donated so far. But like, you can go and, like, if you have like a Revolut account, for example, that's what I use. I have a Coinbase account as well, but like, for example, you can be like, yo, you know what, I'm going to donate some cryptos, XRPs, Bitcoins, whatever the case may be. You might not want to donate to Bitcoins because, you know, that's worth money. But the point is that you have got to really explore the full array of opportunities before you. And there's no shame in anything. I used to be ashamed of telling, you know, you guys, telling other people, like, yo, you know, donate, you know, the show this, the show that, because, you know, there was this sense like, oh, I don't want to look like I'm begging or anything like that. And it's like, no, bro, you know, and Keisha is the one. And again, big, you know, kudos to Keisha. You know, I seem to always give thanks to Keisha for these things and talk a lot about him. But that's because we do spend a lot of time. That's the guy who I speak to literally every day, and we talk about like cryptos and banking and finances and politics and geopolitics. So we do have a lot of common sense, common points of interest, which obviously inspire a lot of these talks as well. And therefore, it's like, how do we inspire others to do the same? Oh, Papa Keishamou Kouloukou, le sponsor des sponsors. Ah, la bouteille de champagne. Il a pété la bouteille, yo. La bouteille de champagne, yo. Hey, la 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 la. Yes, so you see, basically that's just what it is, family. We're just trying to stay ahead of the curve and give you guys this dope energy and as much good information and constructive information as possible, because that's what this shit is about. That's literally what this shit is about. Nothing else. So wow, today was supposed to be an hour show. It turned out to be a 2 hours and 15 minutes show. I think I am not gonna overstay my welcome, and I will indeed let you, ladies and gentlemen, go about your every day or every evening endeavors, and I appreciate you once again for your beautiful support and presence. And why is my image acting up? This image does act up a lot, man. Don't forget, family, don't forget, please, that we are doing the second edition of Offering Gatso Weekend, my online festival in partnership with my good brother Jojo Flores and Chub Chub. That's right. We are bringing you guys the Offering Gatso WMC. So it's Offering Gatso Weekender, but we're doing a WMC tribute type of thing. So it will take place this Saturday, 20th of March, and Sunday, 21st of March. I urge you to mark your calendars. It's going to be an amazing musical journey. The lineup is mad. Please be present. Spread the word on that virtual festival. It is utterly important for us because it's a donation-based thing for this second edition. We're already working on the third edition and many more, but like for this one, we really need you to spread the word, guys, because we are trying to be a festival that pay DJs fees, right? We want to pay all our DJs. My dream was to pay everyone $1,000 each. It's unlikely we will be able to do that because, sponsors, anything like that, we're not necessarily aligned for this one. But for the third one, we really going at it from different perspective, and hopefully it will work out. But please be aware that we really need your support, not only by sharing the link of this festival, which is just a great fucking time for each and every one of you guys. I mean, we have amazing women and men behind the decks, doing what they do best, which is spinning great fucking music. So you don't want to miss that out. And sorry for my, bad French, cursing a lot, but I can do that on my show. So yeah, I repeat, Offering God's Soul Weekend, the WMC, Miami Winter Music Conference tribute is taking place this weekend, Saturday the 20th and Sunday the 21st. Times and schedules will be posted on my socials, don't you worry. And Friday, of course, Quarantine Grooves. Once again, thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. It has been a great show and such a beautiful energy as always. Teresa, good evening indeed. Oh, good morning, wherever you are located in the world. Thank you all for tuning in once again. It was dope. Yeah, thanks, brother. Thank you. Thank you for this positive feedback. Yes, I think it's good like that. The overlay is really good like that. It looks good. It looks good. I'm still having issues with the loot that I'm using for this thing. I might need you to send me some loot, bro. Yeah, I'm not satisfied with this one. But anyway, with that being said, what is important is the content of the show. Obviously, with the looks, we're enhancing that all the time until we find the perfect, balance, and it won't be a problem anymore. But wow, what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful talk that was. Not that I like to hear myself talking, but beautiful because I see all you guys interacting in the chats and everything. So appreciate that, man. All of you ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings, sisters and brothers. Thank you very much. Yes, Papake, please do create a loot for me. I beg you. I beg, please. It's very nice of you. Thank you, Master Electronic. I appreciate that. Yo, I want to give a big thank you to my beautiful people of the Shatter Gang and my Bodhis for tuning in. Mountain of Inspiration, Dahlia, Ellie, Emmanuel, Mike Phoenix, Christelle, Joel Amen TV, Master Electronic, Moto, Papa Kesha Mukulukuku Premier, Capella, l'homme fort. Yes, I, Tatiana Saïd. Man, what a good time. What a good time with you guys. Shade Womack, thank you very much for tuning in. Sister Kayara, as always, love and appreciation. Tatiana, I did shout you out. And of course, Brujita, Chiquita Brujita, thank you very much, yo. And Teresa, thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. What a dope time. And yeah, man, see you guys Friday for Quarantine Grooves. In the meantime, continue to support your artists, show the love, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that yet. It's very important. Press the bell button, press the like button if you like the show. I've already seen quite a few likes. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate them a lot. And that's that. Get the merch, Family, God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves. And I will indeed be seeing you. I will be seeing you Friday. Peace.